It has been over a year since we last received major info about the foraging update. It's been nearly 6 months since we got our last few hints in the 2024 recap. But ladies and gentlemen, the light at the end of the tunnel is finally getting closer. Today, June 3rd, 2025, the admins finally released the foraging trailer. 2 minutes and 23 seconds of what we've all been waiting for. I'll watch the full trailer through without pausing, and then we'll go back and check it bit by bit. If you want to watch the trailer for yourself, you can find a link to it in the description below. And now, the moment of truth. Alright, so for the record, this is my 3rd time watching this through, because I have already fumbled with OBS twice after watching through the entire video and sharing my thoughts on it. So, yeah. But anyways, I'll still watch the video through. This won't be my first time watching it. This will be my 3rd or 5th time at this point. But anyways, here we go, Hypixel Skyblock Foraging trailer. Average park gameplay. Also, was the spruce forest always covered in snow? I don't think I realized that before. And there it is, travel to Galatea. At last we are in 1.21, or 1.20, whichever one. Got the axolotls, and giant trees now. Also, I think some of these are new armor sets. Not the young dragon, of course, but the other two. They do look pretty new. And new foraging mechanics. That is more than just breaking logs. But we do have other ways to break logs. And my favorite part of the update, fishing. Also, a bunch of new NPCs. And frog. Got what I think might be fishing nets. Ooh, we got pandas. There really is so much in this update. And there it is. Galatea. So now we will watch it back again, but I will actually talk more in depth about it. So yeah, I honestly don't even know if the spruce forest in the park has snow on it already, or if this is an update that they're going to do, because it looks really nice like this, and I'm sure part of it is also the 1.21 textures. But yeah, has it really been that long since I've been in the spruce part of the park? Because I just don't remember there being snow, but there also might be, and I'm just stupid. Oh wait, we also got, I didn't notice this the other 4 times I watched it, but there's soul lanterns in the park. So is the park also being updated to a newer version? Also, I didn't even notice these two, but what are these, mud bricks, I think? Mud brick stairs or something? If that's even a block in newer Minecraft. Yeah, there are newer blocks in the park. So is the park also being updated to a newer version? Or is it just if you're in a newer version on the park, you see these things around? But yeah, I guess you can see some new blocks too over here. Like, you can see more of those brown brick looking things. I think over here there's some stone slabs. Also, it looks like the island itself has also just been completely revamped. Like, the jungle actually has bigger trees now, and there's a more abundance of them. Yeah, I didn't even think about the park being updated too. Interesting. But this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Galatea. And already we can see some of the new blocks. Of course, lanterns, and also azalea, which I'm assuming is gonna have its own collection. And even the houses too, we can see some of the new blocks. I don't know what kind of wood this is, but it looks very nice. There is also a tower in the back. which I'm assuming is going to be part of some sort of quest. And of course, the axolotls. Very curious to see what these guys are going to be used for. Possibly an axolotl pet? Also, is this mangrove? Is that like a thing in vanilla Minecraft? Because it looks like a different kind of wood that I haven't seen before. It might be, I don't know. Also got a village, so this might be similar to the Crimson Isles, where there's also going to be like a branch of the bazaar or the auction house. Of course, if you have a booster cookie, that doesn't really matter, but still looks pretty cool. Which is kind of what I'm going to say about most of the things here. Now, this is something I am slightly concerned about. Like, the tree, this specific tree at least, looks pretty small. And I already know there's going to be a huge amount of competition when the update drops, so we'll see how this ends up going. Because it does also look like you get some sort of drop if you participate in breaking the tree. But with the size of this tree, I'm sure someone could go through it in like a few seconds probably. But that is also assuming the admins don't add some sort of new chopping speed, like how they did with mining, which they will probably do. And I'm sure tree cap is also going to get a significant nerf. Also, new type of foraging. I am excited about this, to be honest. Just having a different style of foraging that isn't chopping trees, I feel like it's going to make this skill so much more refreshing. And like if we go back a few seconds, we might be able to see what's in the hand. Yes, okay, so it is some sort of berry. So I'm guessing you just go over here, you right click, you get a berry or something, which will hopefully have its own collection too, because I would like to see a lot of new foraging collections. And axe throwing. Honestly, I don't know how useful it's gonna be, because like, would it be more efficient to throw your axe or just teleport up here and then break these higher branches? I don't know, maybe there's gonna be like a buff for throwing axes, and you get additional foraging fortune or something. And my beloved fishing content. My favorite part of foraging. Over here we can see some kelp, a lot of seagrass, some sea pickles, and there is a bit of coral in the back there, I do think. Now, I'm sure all of these won't have collections, but if I had to guess, there is an 80% chance that kelp gets its own collection, which I am very much hoping for. Oh wait, was there some more stuff in the left corner there that I missed? No, that just looks like sand or something. Okay. And some NPCs. I'm Agatha, the youngest of the Starlin sisters. We each host contests on our own islands. Okay. So is this going to be like farming contests? Where you get better rewards for being in a higher bracket by breaking a higher amount of a specific log? Possibly. That would be kind of... I don't know actually, I don't really care for farming contests. But that's also because farming is boring. Maybe in the context of a more exciting skill, it could be better, but this could also be an entirely different style of contests. And we got Kiara here, in a very nice looking house, which, if I had to assume, is going to be related to the berry part of foraging. I can see some azalea stuff in this greenhouse here, as well as a jar inside the house. So maybe if we collect berries, we can turn it into like some sort of food or something that gives special effects. And this might be a hot take, but I honestly would really like to see some style of cooking in Skyblock. Like, you could make certain types of food that stack with god pots or whatever potion effects you have, but the effects of the food are stronger and you can only have one active at a time. I think that could be pretty cool, possibly. But yeah, this does seem like it'll be related to the new style of foraging. It kind of reminds me of, is it Stardew Valley that has it? One of those farming simulator games, where you go around the map and forage stuff from the wilderness. It might be kind of similar to that, where you go around the foraging island, and you can pick berries or pick up other stuff, and then you can bring all that stuff here and turn it into whatever it is you end up turning it into. Or you bring it here to coral. Because I do see some mushrooms here, and I see a cauldron, so maybe we'll be able to collect certain things like mushrooms, and then bring them here and turn them into potions or something. And these potions might give stronger individual effects compared to god pots. And that way alchemy can actually be a skill. And then there's this. Keisha, with the fusion machine, which I have no idea. If I had to make a completely wild guess, my assumption would be this is the forging equivalent of the forge in the Dwarven mines. But instead of using, forgery, this will be more magic focused, at least thematically. It would be cool if we do see like chainsaws or something, because we already have drills, we already have rod parts. I feel like it would make thematical sense to add chainsaws and chainsaw parts. But yeah, really though, this could literally be anything, I have no idea. And then we have Sawyer with booster info, which could also be literally anything. Like, maybe it's something you buy with gems that you can activate for a server-wide boost, similar to the coin boosters we get for other games. But I also see a grindstone and an anvil in the back, so maybe it's a booster for your gear instead. Maybe like the gemstone equivalent, but for foraging. I don't know, again, this could be literally anything. And frog. Now, for those of you that have played Genshin Impact, this kind of reminds me of the Sealies. And for those of you that haven't played it, it's basically a mechanic where you follow an entity, a creature thing around, and when it leads you to its destination, you get a reward from it. Now, why I think this is because you quite literally follow it, it gets to its location, and then it plays a sound effect, which I'm assuming gives you a reward of some kind. So yeah, very, very similar mechanic, so I'm assuming it's gonna function more or less the same. Also, cobweb in hand, I'm guessing this is a fishing net, and dolphins. Yeah, it looks like he's throwing the fishing net at the dolphin, so hey, more fishing content. Also pandas. I'm assuming bamboo is gonna have its own collection, at least I would hope so. And then it looks like you feed the panda bamboo, which does something. Well, I'm 99% sure we are getting a panda pet, so yeah. And then combat stuff it looks like. These are strays, I think, yeah. Probably. But yeah, this looks like some sort of ruin. I don't want to say dungeon because that has its own implications. But our guy here, he is attacking the strays with his axe. So maybe these are kind of like the, what are they called? The glaciate people, where if you attack them with your drill or your pickaxe, it does a ton of damage. Maybe this is a similar thing where if you attack them with your axe, it deals more damage. Or this is just for the sake of video consistency, so our guy here doesn't have to switch armor or the thing he's holding in his hand. But anyways, it does look like we are getting some combat content. And we got another underwater ruin here, which leads to something. From the looks of it, it does seem like some sort of puzzle, because these blocks do change when you click on them. And if I had to assume, you need to match it to these blocks up here. And then doing so maybe unlocks doors on these sides that you can go into, and then there's a boss on the other side? I don't know, it looks like it's for some sort of quest though. So that is very interesting. And also the island itself is huge. If I can pause it at the right time. There we go. But yeah, we have like all these plateau areas. And then we have further down into the village, which I'm guessing goes along here. We have the whole middle part over here with the water. And then we have underwater. And then we have a few more areas back here, as well as this tower that I'm guessing goes further up. So yeah, this looks like a very, very exciting island. And it's not just chopping trees. Like, there's new styles of foraging, there's new mechanics related to foraging, new mechanics not related to foraging, hopefully a lot of new collection types, a pretty good sized island to explore, and yeah, overall it's just a lot of content it looks like. Of course, we'll have to see when it actually releases if the wait was worth it, but at the very least it will be in newer Minecraft versions. Which means there is the implication for other updates in newer versions. Specifically fishing updates. I am not biased at all. Yeah, overall very exciting stuff. And unfortunately, it does not look like there's any info about, when the update is releasing. I also did check the forums earlier and there was no info about an alpha release at any point or the server going into maintenance. So yeah, we will have to see when this is actually going to release. But at the very least, we got some info, finally, after however long it's been. And once again, if you do want to watch this trailer for yourself, I will link it down in the description below. And with that said, thank you all for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.